what's up, everyone? It's your girl V, and welcome to another episode of Mindful Unfoldings. It's a new week, no guest, and the final season of the year. Oh my gosh, guys, it's December. We are wrapping up the recording scene, taking some time to myself to enjoy the festive season. But before, I thought it's only fair I come on here and just reflect on the journey of Mindful Unfoldings because we've come so far. And I truly believe in my heart that 2025 is our year. We're going places. We're going on Spotify in January, Apple Podcasts. And before I get into all of those things and the plans that I have for Mindful Unfoldings, I thought it's only fair that I reflect on my journey, not only with myself, but the studio and everybody that's contributed here. And if you've been following us from the beginning, for me to start this channel, I remember at first I started at home. The first episode was shot at home. I found lighting. My friend Barbara came because she had equipment, and I was like, we have to record something. This is going to help me be accountable just to keep up with myself and just the podcast. And we did that. And then 2 weeks later, I won at Arise Studios to go and shoot, which was great. I shot in one day. And I had to learn how to edit. I had to learn how to use YouTube. I had to learn how to match the sound and put this there. And I did it all by myself. By God's grace, people started noticing the channel. And then beginning of this year, I actually met Busang, the owner of the studio, and the crew, and we were like, you know what, let's do this thing and let's go together, let's take it places. And I've been at Busang Studios ever since. And it's been such an exciting, not the whistle, it's been such an exciting journey. It's been filled with so many highs. I don't remember a low. And I think more than anything, I'm so grateful to be working with people who are so patient with me. And before we get into that and to get into like the whole process of Mindful Unfoldings, the purpose of this platform was to always just come and speak about the things that not only have I experienced, but things that a lot of people experience, from talking about childhood traumas, talking about rape victims, parents opening up to therapy, so many people talking to pastors about faith, my friends as well who come here and speak on their journeys on faith and the things that they've been through. You know, people who've constantly answered an email to come to the podcast, people who've reached out to come to the podcast. It was all about experience and talking about the things that we've been through in life and just to share perspective. I always say there is nothing more refreshing than hearing different perspectives, because you realize that you don't go through things alone in life, and the next person probably went through it, and not only did they go through it, but it probably was worse than yours. And I know it's going to sound crazy, but knowing that you are not the only person in deep waters, or you're not that deep in the water, gives you hope. And my thing, I'm such an advocate for mental health, for always encouraging people to check in with themselves and their mental capacity, because I'm a person that struggled with mental health. I know someone and people who have struggled with it as well. So Mindful Unfoldings was all about that, a truth-seeking journey where we just get to reflect and talk and help ourselves grow, not only in faith, but just as people, to live a happier and peaceful life. That's why we always say learning, growing, and glowing. And oh my gosh, it's been so amazing. I think about the beginning of the year and how when I started this, I did not know where I was going with this, but I just knew we were going somewhere. And to be here now is nothing short of a blessing. It's nothing short of, I don't know, like when I think about it, it's like God has done so much for me in the year 2024. I'm so grateful to be sitting here a happier person, a more peaceful person, a better person, not only to the people here in studio, but to my friends, to my family, to myself, my relationships with people. And it's crazy because, again, like I said, the first half of this year was not the greatest. At some point, I remember coming to studio depressed as hell, sitting here and just shooting because I knew that this too shall pass, you know. And I think about my journey and the things that I've went through, the things that I've spoken about on this platform, and how they've impacted my life. And to see where I am now, it can only be God's hand and grace. And I'm so grateful to have actually started this platform, because the plans that I have for next year are bigger and they're bigger and better than my own. Then they'll be better than I have ever imagined. And I think about the challenges as well. It's so difficult coming to sit here and being open and honest about the things that you go through. I mean, just the other day, I actually feel bad about not telling the people in the studio that I was not going to post one episode there. They found out like everybody, and it was a really good episode. But I think if you watched last week's episode with Mbali, I had mentioned something about authenticity and staying authentic to myself. And there is no use for me coming here and sitting and selling a lie of a reality that is not is that what it's not about a particular space or season in my life, because I know at some point I'm gonna come back here and talk about it. And I don't wanna contradict myself and say, oh, I used to sell apples and those apples used to sell out, and then next year I come and be like, oh, I'm broke, my apples weren't selling, and then I justify it by saying, oh, I just wanted to tell a story and give people hope. But true hope lies in the truth, and I know next year I will be able to talk about it, because right now I don't want to talk about it right now, because again, we're just reflecting and speaking about mindful unfoldings and everything that we've learned and been through. And I mean, from working as well, I had to adjust my life from moving and working to a different company. It was early call times. There was times where I wanted to come and shoot, but I couldn't because I had to be at work until late. So I had to adjust myself and spread myself larger than I could have ever imagined. Because again, also school, when you further your education, you're working, you're doing so many things at once, life can get so hectic. And when I say life can get hectic, guys, a few weeks ago, I had a mild stroke. I don't want to say a stroke, but a mild stroke doesn't make it sound nicer or easier. But a few weeks ago, I literally, out of nowhere, on a random Monday, my body was in so much pain. My chest was hurting. I did not understand what was happening to me. When I got to the doctor, he was like, V, you literally were just like, had a mild stroke, basically. And he told me, you need to rest, you need to sit down and be still, you need to pour into yourself now, you need to listen to your body, you need to be sound minded. And it was difficult because as well, I got baptized. We found Jesus. We were made one with Jesus as well. On the 10th of November. Amen. Amen. I got baptized as well. So even in the week of me getting baptized, that's when I was sick. I was sick. I literally was drinking 16 tablets a day. I was on steroids. I was on cortisone. I was on prednisones. I was just waking up and sleeping, waking up and sleeping. I was not coming to studio because I didn't have the capacity to. Even when I came back, I was just this albino girl. Not albino, but I was very light. Everyone was just like, V, why are you so light? And I'm just like, it's my medication. It's the things that I was drinking because my body was literally at a deficit. And I think this is why I keep emphasizing God's grace, because even in that moment when I was sick, there's so much I learned about myself and patience and really still being able to check in with myself, because I think a habit that most people have, or a habit that I have, is that I am so good at neglecting myself and attending to other people and other people's problems that when I have a problem, I will say that I have a problem, but I won't really, sit down and actually find it or look for a solution or find a solution. I'll just move on and focus around everybody, or focus on everybody around me. And I think if there's anything this year has taught me, is to put myself first. And if there's anything I want to tell you guys, is to put yourself first. There is no greater reward than putting yourself first, even if it costs you people, even if it costs you so many things that you feel like you desire. I kid you not, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. And I've always said the people that are meant for you are always going to be for you, no matter what season that you are in. I'm so grateful to be surrounded by people who are patient with me, who also I can be vulnerable with in our personal space, and almost give them a look inside my life and why I make certain decisions or why I feel the way that I feel, because it's not easy. Navigating life is probably one of the difficult things ever, but by God's grace, you can do it, and by the people around you. And I think that's why it's so important to also look at the people that you keep around you. Who are you talking to? Who are your friends? What are they doing? Because you are a reflection of your friendships, your reflection of the people that you keep around you. And I'm not saying that because I'm just saying it, but I remember when I was still living a very chaotic life, when I was going to the wrong places. I'm not saying the people are bad, but the things we're doing were bad. And those energies, the energies that you get from going outside and always being active and living the high life, it's a lot. And you make the worst choices. You're not thinking straight. You're always doing things for other people and not yourself. This is what I'm saying. Like, it's so important to be mindful and to literally sit down and really just think about what you want and where you're heading with your life, because we are literally living on borrowed time, and I don't want to make the mistake to not follow the things that I want to do and my dreams just because I'm trying to be other people, a different person, or trying to please people. And if I'm so grateful, the people pleaser syndrome is literally out of my body. I have no desire to do things just because I'm trying to please you or keep you in my circle. And I know it sounds like it's an easy thing to do, but it's not, because getting rid of that means being alone, means losing people. It means sitting down and holding yourself accountable. And accountability is one of the most difficult things any person could ever try to do to themselves. It's even worse when other people point it out at you, because it's like people see your flaws and you're failing to see them yourself, and now they're pointing it out and expecting you to digest it, and it's like, oh, I still need to digest this. So I'm just so grateful to have such amazing people around me. I'm so grateful for the studio as well. We have Fifi, we have Tabo, we have Busang. They also, sometimes I kid you not, they don't understand what I'm saying or like the things that I decide to do, but eventually they do, and I think that's what I like about it. Just before recording, I was telling them, I'm like, 2025 is our year and we're going places, and I'm not changing studios. I will take you guys everywhere with me, because it's really nice working with people who understand the value of what you're doing. They are not trying to change the kind of content that I do. At some point, they're calling me a pastor because we're just on a Christian role. A Christian role, but it's like, that's the season that I'm in, and that's what we're going to speak about. But obviously next year we're pushing boundaries, and we're going to have difficult conversations with familiar faces, because we want to understand and have perspective. So that's literally really what I wanted to really highlight, and just to thank each and every subscriber, each and every follower on social media platforms, each and every person that has ever sent me emails just saying thank you for the type of content that I'm putting out and that they see it. You know, it's not about the amount of people that you have, but it's about the impact on the people that you have. I can literally impact 5 people. That's a lot to get 5 people to listen to you and what you have to say. So every single subscriber that has subscribed to Mindful Unfoldings, that has shared, that has commented, that has had a suggestion, that has come, my friends that I've made by coming to this podcast and sharing their stories and being vulnerable with us and sharing the things that they've went through, to literally putting my friends in uncomfortable positions, because most people that came here weren't even ready to come on a podcast and be vulnerable, but they did it for me because they believe in the movement and what I'm trying to do, not for myself but for everybody else. And I remember I was watching last night the first episode, and a question that I asked my friend Kahiso, because that's the first episode I shot with, was, what do you want for the year 2024? And I literally said, all I want for this year is to be happy in everything that I do, and to know that God is really within me. And to think about it, I manifested that, because it wasn't an easy journey. It really wasn't the smoothest of journey. There was a season where I really was depressed, a season where I was really sick, and there was a season where I was happy. But if I sit down and I reflect on everything, this year I really was happier than I was last year. This year I came out a happier person. I came out a lighter person. I came out a person with perspective for other people, a kinder person. And I can truly say God's grace has been so sufficient for me in the year 2024. He still saw me worthy, despite my mistakes, despite my shortcomings. This year has really God has carried me this year. And to know that my baptism means so much to me, and I think I should throw a baptism party, because I didn't do that, and I don't know why I didn't throw a baptism. I don't know why I didn't throw a baptism party, but I think I should, because to know that despite everything that I've been through and decisions that I've made, God still saw me fit to really be within me, and to know that I am now living life with God in me is literally the most peaceful thing ever. And I find so much peace and comfort in that, even through trials, knowing that God is within me and He will never fail me has been the biggest thing for me. And I'm so grateful that I've had so much influence and so many people to look up to help me with my faith journey. Because literally, when you seek the kingdom of God, everything else is added onto you. And like I said, the studio was added onto me. My best friend Karabo was added onto me. Literally everybody was just added onto me, and I'm so excited for 2025. I'm so excited to see what the year 2025 has for us. I am literally gonna pray that we record every single week and we post every single week. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but I know we're gonna do it. I even told them in studio that they can also suggest guests. I don't know why they were scared to say, V, don't you want to interview this person? I wouldn't say no. I would just have to do my research. Yes, Tabo, I was making faces. I just have to do my research and then we just do it. But that's what we're gonna do next year, and I hope we just get bigger and better. And exciting news, we are going on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google. I think Google something. Google also has podcasts something, but we're also going to be on podcasts live on those things. And yeah, I'm so excited to be on Spotify, Apple, Google. Like, even if there was a sky of podcasts, we would be there. And we're just gonna go bigger and better. We're gonna grow the community. We're gonna just, yeah, we're going places. That's all I had to say. We're going places. So thank you so much to everybody that's watched Mindful Unfoldings. I hope, what if you're gonna bump into this channel in December, if you're gonna bump into this channel in January, whenever you bump into Mindful Unfoldings, I hope you realize how everything really does happen for a reason in your life. No matter how difficult it gets, no matter how difficult it is to sit down with yourself, no matter how difficult it is to be alone, everything happens for a reason. God's timing is always perfect. Just because you're not getting it when you want it doesn't mean you're not going to get it at all. I think that's what faith is about. And I hope I'm a reflection of what that looks like, quite literally, having faith and really holding on to the promises of God. And if there's anything I want to leave you guys with for the year 2024, is to really, really just believe in yourself, love God, and everything else will fall into place. Everything will be restored. Your finances, your desires, I kid you not, everything will be okay. And yeah, that's it for me for the year. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this platform, for adding on to me. I'm really so grateful. I'm very, very grateful to everybody. And check us on social media. We will be announcing when exactly. Everything will be out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And don't forget to share to your friends, to tell them to subscribe. Don't forget to show us some love. Don't forget, continue sending us emails as well. I love hearing it when people come to me and tell me their stories about an episode that they liked. Also, please continue suggesting the kinds of guests that you guys want to see here. I've been getting a couple of recommendations and we are working on it. But please don't forget to just share and DM us. We will answer, comment, follow everybody that's been on Mindful Unfoldings. They're doing amazing things. And I think you'll be inspired to see what God can do for them, even after they've come and shared their struggles on the podcast. So yeah, Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, be safe, don't drink and drive. Go to better, go do all of those things that you want to do. It's been a long 2024. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share Mindful Unfoldings on all social media platforms. Don't forget to follow Busang Studios as well on all social media platforms and YouTube. And don't forget to follow Busang Photography as well on all social media platforms. And I will see you guys in 2025. Happy! Woo! We should have hired balloons and that thing that goes shoot the confetti. Hey, that was